So let's see if we have evidence that the Hebrew Bible says God will become a man. Isaiah 9, 6 to 7. God becomes a man, but there will be no gloom for her that was in anguish. In the former time, he brought into content the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. But in the latter time, he will make glorious the way of the sea, the land beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the nations. Galilee of the nations. Pay attention. God is going to honor Galilee of the nations in the future. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them has light shined. Notice, a great light will shine forth from Galilee of the nations. What or who is that light? Okay? What or who is that light? Now, you don't need to guess. 6 and 7. For to us a child is born. Yeled, Yulad. A great light will shine in Galilee, in that a child born, well, if the child's born, that means now he's really human. This is a genuine human. A real human baby, a male baby born of a woman. He's that great light. But notice what else he is. To us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder. And his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And who is this child who is born of a woman, who's the mighty God in the flesh? The Father of everlastingness, the one from whom life comes, the one who sits on David's throne. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, and upon the throne of David, and over his kingdom establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. So a child born to sit on David's throne is the mighty God. The very next chapter, Isaiah, next chapter, tells us that the mighty God is Yahweh, Yahuwah, Jehovah. The words El Gibor are used only of Jehovah in a positive sense. Next chapter, Isaiah 10, 20 to 21. In that day, the remnant of Israel and the survivors of the house of Jacob will no more lean upon him that smote them, but will lean upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. In truth, a remnant will return, the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty God. How can Yahweh be the mighty God in Isaiah 10, 21, and a child born be the mighty God in Isaiah 9? Now, do Jewish sources agree? Do non-Christian Jewish exegetes agree that Isaiah 9 is about Messiah? Here you go. The Targum of Isaiah, Aramaic translation of Isaiah, done by Jews, not by Trinitarians, translated by J.F. Stenning, editor and translator, page 32. The prophet saith to the house of David, a child has been born to us, a son has been given to us, and he has taken the law upon himself to keep it. And his name has been called from of old, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, He who lives forever, the Anointed One, or Messiah. Yep, and those Jews don't know what they're talking about. Here is another English translation of the Aramaic paraphrase of Isaiah 9. Another one that's online, which you can read for free. The prophet said to the house of David. See it? Prophet said to the house of David, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and he has taken the law upon himself to keep it. His name is called from eternity, Wonderful, the Mighty God, who liveth to eternity, the Messiah, whose peace shall be great upon us in his days. Right? But hold on. This child who is born, who's the mighty God, the Messiah, he will shine from where? In Galilee of the Gentiles. All right. Now let's see where Jesus was born, shall we? Okay, watch here. Now when Jesus heard that John had been taken into custody, he departed to Galilee, and leaving Nazareth, he came and lived in Capernaum, which is by the sea in the region of Zebulun and Naphtali, in order that what was spoken through Isaiah the prophet would be fulfilled, saying, so why did Jesus come from Jordan and begin ministering in Galilee? Because Capernaum is in Galilee, to fulfill Isaiah 9, 1 and 2. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond the Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people were sitting in darkness saw a great light. And those who are sitting in the land in the shadow of death, upon them a light dawn. Coincidence? Jesus was raised in Galilee, began his ministry in Galilee, fulfilling Isaiah 9, a child who's born, who's the mighty God in the flesh, and yet only Yahweh is the mighty God. But I still want to see, is there any other passages? Micah 5:2. But as for you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, from Bethlehem, right? Too little to be among the clans of Judah. From you, one will go forth for me to be ruler in Israel. Now notice, a human ruler born of a human woman, making him a human Israelite and a brother to the Israelites. How do I know? Let's read 3 and 4. And because he's human, the father becomes his God. Okay? But notice how old he is and where he comes from. Pay attention. But as for you, Bethlehem Ephrathah, too little to be among the clans of Judah. From you, one will go forth for me to be ruler in Israel. His goings forth, meaning his activities, it's plural. His activities have been from long ago. He's been active quite often from the beginning. Why? Because he's from the days of eternity. Damn. This human king is more than human because he's been active for quite a while, for quite some time. His activities, his goings forth, have been from the beginning because he comes from the days of eternity. So he's from eternity. He steps out of eternity and enters into time. And he will be born of a woman to be a ruler in Israel, because he can only be an Israelite to rule as king in Israel. Therefore, he will give them up. So God will hand over Israel until the time when she whose labor has borne a child, the virgin, has borne a child. Then the remainder of his brethren will return sons of Israel. Notice, because he's born of this woman, she makes him a human Israelite, and the Israelites become his brothers, whom he will then flock and save and rule over. And he will arise and shepherd his flock in the strength of the Lord, Yahuwah. The majesty of the name of the Lord is God, because he becomes man, the Lord becomes his God. They'll remain, because at that time he'll be great to the ends of the earth. Okay. If this is a human child, male child born of a woman, to become a human Israelite, to rule over Israel, then how is he from the days of eternity? How could he come from eternity? And how could he have been active from the beginning? Because he's been active for quite some time, going in and coming out from the beginning, if he's just a man. He's eternal, been active from the beginning, but he's born of a woman. Now, where was Jesus born? Notice, Bethlehem Ephrathah, right? Where was Jesus born? Matthew 2, verse 1 to 6. Now, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? Micah 5:2 says, the one who go forth to be ruler in Israel will be from Bethlehem Ephrathah. For we saw his star in the east, and have come to worship him. When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. Did you catch it? They knew if you're talking about a king being born, you're talking about Messiah. So now he's going to ask the Jewish scholars of the Old Testament. And he's going to ask these scholars, do the prophets tell us where the Messiah will be born? Look what they quote, guys. They said to him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, and are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel. While even the Jewish scholars of Jesus, they knew that Micah 5:2 prophesied the birth of Messiah from Bethlehem. But they'll say, you Christians make up stuff, you're liars. We don't trust your New Testament. All right, let's go to Rashi. Rashi, Micah 5, who's it about? All right, let's see. Let's put it up here. A new Bethlehem Ephrathah, where David emanated, as it is stated, 1 Samuel 17:58. The son of your bondsman, Jesse the Bethlehemite. Bethlehem is called Ephra, as it is said, Genesis 48:7. On the road to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. From you shall emerge for me the Messiah, son of David. Damn, Gina. You mean Rashi, an anti-Christian rabbi who knows that Christians quote Micah 5:2 to prove that Jesus is Messiah because he's born in Bethlehem? He admits that Micah 5:2 is about the Messiah. And notice he admits that the Messiah's name has been from before the Son. And his origins is from of old. Before the Son, his name is Yunon. So they have to admit, yeah, this is talking about pre-existence, all right. So his name was already decreed before the Son. No, it says he is from eternity, not simply his name. Did it sink in, guys, or did I lose you? Rashi, who is the king, the ruler who will come forth from Bethlehem? Messiah, son of David. And his name has been from before the Son. We got it? All right, but now, hold on. So you mean the rabbis agree that Micah 5:2 is about Messiah, confirming the New Testament, which also says it's about Messiah and that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, Judea? You got it? So let's sum up. Old Testament says God will become a man because a child will be born who's the mighty God, a name given only to God in a positive sense, and the very name of God in the same book of Isaiah, Isaiah 9:6, the child born is mighty God. Isaiah 10:21, Yahweh is the mighty God. Micah 5:2 says, a figure who's from eternity, who's been quite active for quite some time from the very beginning, will then be born of a woman to become the ruler of Israel, to shepherd his brothers, the Israelites, and yet he's an eternal figure who becomes human. Okay, that's 2, Isaiah 9, Micah 5. Interesting. So God will become a man. And the rabbis agree that ruler who will come forth from Bethlehem, Ephrathah, King Messiah. Jewish rabbinic sources agree, Isaiah 9:6, the child born is King Messiah, agreeing with the New Testament that Jesus is a child born. Jesus is the ruler from Bethlehem who steps out of eternity to be born of a woman. So he's the God-man, the Messiah.